But when it comes to a nation state, I don't get into codes, rules, and regulations or statutes or policies, because based on the fact that all that comes from their Constitution, the Constitution is the common law of the land, and therefore everything that comes under that is the common law. If it's common to the society, it's the common law. I don't give a crap if it's policy. Because that's how they're going to operate anyway. They're going to arrest people based on public policy. They're going to make rules for them based on public policy. And I've had so many people tell me in the past, I go, well, there is no common law in the U.S. It's all administrative law. And I'm like, that's because administrative law is your common law, in case you haven't figured that out. And so when it comes to the U.S. Constitution, that's where I found the words law of nations. And I looked at my wife at the time and I said, law of nations, what the hell is that? Are we already under world government?
The Law of Nations, Emmett David Pell's very good book.
Yeah.
Very good truth. As one of my first law studies, they made us
yeah.
that.
That is the primer for all law on this planet.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And so in there, when I started reading the Law of Nations, and I'd already moved to St. Kitts, and I actually was working with David Wynn Miller. We started filing lawsuits, and Miller was doing that whole quantum language crap. And I at least thought there was some merit to it. And out of everything that we ever did, it was the only thing that I saw that had any merit at all, because the judges were looking at what we wrote. And since we had adopted a name called United States of Our World, even though they were still running the U.S. flag on it, at least we were capturing the documents differently, and we were calling them charter vessel treaties, and we were coming in admiralty or whatever. Uh-huh. And they would always kick our cases out for a 12b6 violation under federal rules. And I finally realized the reason they kick it out is because we went to court one time, we had 15 people show up. We looked like a new society about to emerge. And the judges were extending us grace when they weren't extending anyone else grace. And I think along that, obviously we're all profiled, and I've been talking about the Law of Nations, and I told my wife a long time ago, even when I first started studying, I said, wouldn't it be great if we just built a separate nation state and really got out of this shit? And that was at a time where I didn't know what I even said, because I had no basis in understanding it in law for what it said. But it's actually in Vattel's book, because if you read section 212, well, I tell people to start with book 1, section 38, which tells you what the sovereign is and what the sovereign authority is, because the public holds the sovereign authority until they turn that over to a senate or to a monarch. And it says right in there, once that public authority is turned over to a senate or to a monarch, that then is the sovereign. In other words, it's like a stock proxy. You turn it over to them, they're going to run it, and once you vote them in every 4 years, they're not asking any questions. They now represent your interest, whatever they deem that interest to be, for the public at large. So the only way this ever worked in the past is to keep societies and communities small so that people actually had a say-so, because, I mean, I used to be...
If you're enjoying the content on this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any future updates. We live in a world now where propaganda and censorship are the rule of the day. YouTube presentations, Facebook presentations, or any other presentation will not have completed information. If you'd like to see a complete interview, plus more content like this, then please subscribe to my Patreon, David Williams Unleashed, and then check out our membership site, Get Out of the System, because you can't get out of this system until you get the system out of you. Thanks for watching.